That's perfect. That's the opening.
Are we done yet?
No, not yet.
It's a lot of work.
You're a lot of work. Hello! Welcome back to What's the Safe Word? I'm Amp.
I'm Eric.
And today's topic is definitely going to assist you.
Well, bless you.
Oh, no. I'm not sick. Today we're talking about sexual health. No, that's perfect. That's the opening. So we live in a very hypersensitive world. It's very sexualized. You have TV, movies, even YouTube talking about sex. But at the same time, we tend to stigmatize a lot of the sex that we talk about. We leave it behind doors. We don't talk about sex that we're having. We talk about sex as if it's someone else having it.
Very true. So naturally, it's a really, really important topic, but obviously we're going to try and be funny about it.
Well, I'm gonna try. I mean, you look really serious.
I'm German, I'm not funny.
You're funny. No, you're funny.
Oh,
no, you're funny.
Thank you.
You're funny. Take, for instance, this conversation that we're having right now. Because it's sexual in nature, companies like YouTube will deem it not ad-friendly. They won't put ads on this video itself, making any monetization. The fuck? So for today's topic, I have my good friend Eric on to talk about sexual health. Eric, what do you do and why are you a sexual health expert?
My name is Eric. I run the Adult Industry Trade Association on a national level. So we lobby and represent the sexual pleasure products industry as well as the adult entertainment industry. I'm also an appointed HIV commissioner for LA County, and I've been doing HIV education for about 12 years. So I like talking about sex. So it's interesting how our government here in the United States actually undermines factual conversations surrounding sex and sexual health.
Thanks, Obama. What? Further, the annual cost of the 8 major STIs that exist out there is around 16 billion, while unplanned pregnancies around 12 billion.
Thanks, Obama. Wait, what? Are you actually aware that about half of the teens in the United States never had to talk about the birds and the bees? Looking at that and understanding that the teenage pregnancy rate in the United States is actually the highest out of all Western developed countries, because these people, or these teenagers, actually start learning about sexual health after having sex.
Thanks, oh, mama. So for instance, when did you become sexually active? When did you talk to your parents about all of this sex stuff?
I can't answer that question honestly, but I will tell you I was 14. Does that work?
Thank you for asking. I actually became sexually active around 18 or 19, and I didn't have any conversation with my parents. It was really awkward, but you know what's more awkward than not having that conversation is probably having to go back to my parents at a later time and talk about STIs, unplanned pregnancies. Like, it's important that we talk to our parents about this to prevent those sorts of things from happening. Wait, did you say 14?
What I found really interesting, moving from Germany to the United States, I realized only after I got here that there is literally no sexual health education in schools. Whereas in Germany, when I went to high school, by the time I was 14, we knew gonorrhea, chlamydia, trichomoniasis, bacterial vaginosis, not something that I could get, but very important to know about, yeast infections, HIV, hepatitis C, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, all the whole list. And like, we knew how it was transmitted, how it was not transmitted, and that's all to do with stigma.
Wow. I don't have an Obama joke, but that sentence could have used a comma.
I'm sorry. Annually in the United States, there's about 20 million new cases of HIV or STIs. But according to the CDC, on official records, only 1/5 of all Americans have ever had a single HIV STI test, which means that only 20% of all the people that will have one will know that they have one. People don't get tested enough.
I'm not sure why we're zooming in this time. I don't have a joke for this one. Further, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men say that they've experienced some sort of violent partner, rape, or even stalking situations. That is terrifying. With all that said, how do we ensure that we're empowering people with good sexual health?
I think a lot of it really comes down to good communication skills. Being able to openly and honestly talk with your partners about sexual health and your needs and your requirements, but also their needs and their requirements. But it really, a lot of it comes down to proper sex education in schools. If we don't give people the knowledge, then they can't make decisions based on those knowledge. So we're not empowering people to make good choices.
As well as being able to talk about sexual health in that having sex should be pleasurable, being intimate, being able to ask questions about...
Could I ask a question?
No, not right now. And being able to ask questions that lead to new kinks, new partners, new interests in your sexual health. Sorry, did you have a question?
Never mind.
Oh, okay. And I like what you said before about gender and sexuality affecting our sexual health. How does that impact how we teach sexual health?
Well, I think we've moved away from the old binary system of a man and a woman. Let's look at the whole scope of gender identities that are out there. And also, when you learn about something new, try and put yourself into the other person's shoes. Try and imagine how it would feel to be the only gay in the village, or to be transgender and to first find out what that means, or to be queer, or just gender non-conforming at all. And I think that when we are able to sort of use our human ability for compassion and empathy, that we put ourselves into somebody else's shoes, then it's a real game changer.
Speaking of game changer, being able to talk about our sexual health helps us to talk about the different trouble or even risks that come along with the STDs and STIs, and not letting things like HIV monopolize our fear and time. Because we don't want you getting an STI that leads to an operation. Is it trouble on the knee?
That's what we call the game of life.
Good job.
And just imagine what happens if we don't talk about sexual health. I mean, we don't want everybody to go on Google and look up WebMD and find out that that little tiny ingrown hair over there is really neurosyphilis and you're going to be dead tomorrow.
Well, no, it says right there though on the internet. And this is a conversation that we should be having more in schools to prepare people of all ages and sexualities and genders and LGBTQIA. All of these people have different ways that they have sex.
But sadly, it's a taboo.
Sorry. And being able to talk about our sexual health also has a lot of benefits. The first of which, we have safer, smarter sex-having people. And wait, what do the glasses do?
I'm smarter, because I talk about sex.
Okay.
More healthy relationships, regardless of status.
Saving on medical costs and unplanned health issues.
More satisfying sex, and I mean, more orgasms.
What? Still don't look at me like that. And people who exercise their sexual rights are just happier, better sex-having people. So how do we define and maintain our sexual health?
Well, for one, regular testing. At least get tested every 3 months. Go to a health center, get a checkup, and off you go. Getting tested every 3 months also means that we can diagnose if something is there, we can treat it or cure it, and then it can't infect somebody else. Next thing, of course, it's communication. Everything is completely worthless if you can't.
Excuse me. I got it.
All right.
Hello?
Communication. Very important.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Sure. I'll just keep going.
It's my doctor.
It's your doctor?
Yeah.
Is he on prep yet?
No, my refrigerator's not running. And knowing your sexual rights means asking yourself what your sexual health means to you and your partners. Maybe defining your sexual health is as easy as having just a monogamous relationship.
Or poly relationships.
Or kinky relationships.
Or no relationships at all.
Or maybe you just, talk about your relationship every week on a YouTube channel that you happen to do, and it's just sharing a lot about your sex life, but that's okay too.
Who would do that?
Not me.
But most importantly, have fun.
And whether you're having a monogamous relationship or you're kinky, always have a safe word. And this week's safe word is
prep.
Because it's always good to be prepared whenever you're having sex.
Good one.
So that was a lot about sexual health, and thank you so much, Eric, for coming on. Before you go, though, do you want to go ahead and plug what you're working on or how people can follow you?
What I want to plug, really? I think all I want to say is be open-minded and be willing to take on a new perspective, and life will be so much more colorful. My Twitter is @EricPaulLeue, or you can also follow my organization @FSC Army. I'm always happy to help navigate or guide people or just answer questions. No question is ever a stupid question.
But if you do have any questions, leave those in the comments down below. Let us know what you guys want to talk about next time, and we'll see you guys next time on What's a Safe Word. Bye.
I lost my glasses. I don't know. I lose things all the time, or I walk into things. It happens. Don't laugh.
Walk into things, you say.
It's just me trying to.
How many times did you walk into something last night?
Couldn't count that high.